Welcome everyone to Coaching in the Session. My name is Michael Rearden, and I'll be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about the foundation for respect. It is going to be diving into my most recent blog that is going to be talking about respect. And if we look at today in our modern society, or just in our society in general, though it is modern, what type of respect are we getting? Can you remember the last time you gave respect? Or maybe even can you remember the last time you received respect? Most likely it's going to be something that you passed by unless it was something that was done to you, meaning you were disrespected. Because our brain will remember all the things that didn't happen, all the things that were negative. But when it comes to the positive things, respecting people, taking time out of our day, gratitude, our brain doesn't necessarily enjoy those things in the sense of, well, I'm going to focus on them. Now, we can train our brain to think that way, but do we? Many people just keep their natural tendencies, and then they wonder why down the road they have such a negative mindset. So today we're going to be diving into the foundation of respect and how it correlates to mindset. All right, everyone, if you're new to the channel, you're always going to head over to revenconcepts.com. Go to resources, head over to blog, and then the first blog will be the most recent blog. And today's most recent blog that we're going to be talking about is the TUS series, part 38. And that's going to be dealing with learning the foundation for respect. Now, if you're new to the channel, again, the TUS series is going to be a series that's geared at helping past clients stay in tune with their mindfulness, with their mindset. So it's kind of like a tune-up for them. That's why it's called the TUS Tune-Up Series. So this is a tune-up series, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people who haven't received coaching cannot benefit from this type of reading or this podcast in general. So what we're going to be talking about today is, well, what is respect? How respect has changed over the years. Then we're going to be learning how to respect in our current society, and then tying that all in to respect and mindset. So when we first start to look at what is respect, well, respect is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. When we look at respect as just a general society, it's how we treat people. You want to be treated with respect. I'm almost certain. You also want respect in your relationships. I'm almost certain about that too. Now, is respect the same in relationships and then out in the world, right? And just in your community? No. You expect a different level of respect at home than you do out in the world. Now, of course, modern society is moving respect a little bit differently nowadays, right? Now respect is moving in the way of, as long as we can think the same, we have the same viewpoints, we're on the same team, then we can respect each other. But not before and not after. We need to be on the same page in order for respect to be present. It is possible to respect someone and not be a part of their mission, not enjoy everything that they're doing with their life, but you still can respect them as a person. There's some area of that person's life that you can respect. Yet, we put a blanket statement on one thing that we don't enjoy. For example, let's say someone is a certain type of religion and they're the opposite religion of who we are or what we decide to be. So that person is already ridiculed. We cannot respect this person because they don't think the same way we do. And I understand it might be far-fetched for a religion, but it happens every single day. If you turn on the news, probably every other week, every 2 weeks, there's a church being burned down because there's a difference in religion. Did that person respect the other person's right to exercise their religious beliefs? No. They said, no, this is the only belief. Your church is no good. I'm burning your church down. Now, if we just talk about current news, right? The biggest one is going to be the COVID-19 vaccines. People believe that they need them. People believe that they don't need them. So vice versa, which one is true? Well, if someone doesn't get the COVID-19 vaccine, guess what? I can't respect that person because they're putting my life at harm. But then, and vice versa, I can't respect someone who is putting an experimental drug into their body and that they're not using caution. This person's a wild person. So now I can't respect this person because they have a different medical belief. Relationships. I can't respect this person because they don't have my ideas for family, or they don't want to be traditional and I'm a traditional type of person. So, I mean, we can go on the list of what is traditional, what is modern, or what really respect entails. Because what respect truly is to understand that a person is going to have their own set of thoughts, feelings, and actions. So that's for them to control, not us. Yet we are so entitled nowadays where we feel like we can control people. You're going to do what I want. You're going to do exactly what I say, and you're going to like it. If you don't believe me, look at the mask mandates. Wear your mask. If you don't wear your mask, I can't talk to you, or you can't come into the store. You can't do something because someone said you need a mask. Now, scientists have come out that your regular surgical masks are not as effective as a N95 mask or above. Yet people still wear them, and they believe that that's going to protect them. Now, if you are sick and you have a mask on, it is going to do wonders to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Now, we know that, right? That's all science. This is all have been proven. This is all facts. But yet, we still will operate under the belief that I'm not sick, but let me wear a mask and then I'm going to feel safe. And if people don't have a mask on when it's a close environment, we can't social distance, I can't respect these people. They're putting my life at jeopardy. The mindset is very interesting because it can be corralled in any way. It could be corralled into a sense of not being secure, or it could be corralled in the sense of being in a tribe-like mindset of conforming to what society says, what news says, to what mainstream media says. There are many things that take apart respect. We have already kind of touched base on respect in our society, where we look at people for not who they are, but what they believe. So yes, you can be a different color. And I know respect has kind of evolved and race and culture has kind of moved on to be more human now. So it's not like, oh, I'm seeing a person for their color or I'm seeing a person for their religion. Even though it still happens, it's not as prominent. We are learning how to live as people. And if you know how to end racism, you stop talking about the difference in people. We are one people. We're human. So it doesn't matter if I'm brown. It doesn't matter if you're white. All that matters is that we are people. And what I want for you is I want the best for you. And typically people can appreciate that. Oh, this person's a good person. This person wants good for me and I want good for them too. I want to reciprocate that. So depending on where you are in the world, it might be a little bit different. But in a generality, respect is going to be more so on who you are as a person and then what you do as a person. If you're a man and maybe you believe in polygamy, you might have multiple wives, but then other women in the world might see you as a pimp, player, no good, scum, whatever they want to label you as. But in their eyes, they can't respect you because you can't even cherish one woman. Now, that was his belief to be polyamorous. And maybe the woman that he is with already know that. So there is an agreement to what he is doing. His actions are validated, but not in the sense of my beliefs validate his actions. So people are so quick to say, well, I can't respect you because we have a difference in beliefs. Versus if that's what they believe, why not allow them to be? That's not what respect is today. Respect has changed. And then we finally get into respect as a mindset. Because when we look at the mindset of who we are becoming, the quality of our thoughts, respect is one of those things where we remember the negative, but not the positive. Now, if you're in a profession where you get respected quite often, thanked, then you're going to be better off in the regards of mindset. For example, if you're a teacher, you're going to have more moments of respect than disrespect. Now, I will say there are quite many moments that disrespect is there. Maybe a student is upset, parents are upset, administration is upset. I mean, there's many opportunities for disrespect to happen. But then respect can happen in the classroom. Students sit down, they raise their hand. That's being respectful to you and to your rules and your expectations. They are in line, they're quiet in the hall, they eat without throwing their food. I mean, there's so many different things that happen that we just get used to. But that is respect. That is respect for that person, that teacher. And in our relationships, we have respect for one another, most likely, where we will respect someone's boundaries. We will make sure we are a team player, We're not just going off and doing our own thing. We're making sure the other person is taken care of. There's other areas of respect. But when we tie it into mindset, we have to look at what is really the cause, what is really happening in our world. And right now we're going to dive into the nitty-gritty of respect and how it has morphed for the worst. So in the blog, I talk about many different examples on respect and of all the things that are happening in the world. And what I do in the podcast is I give a synopsis. I give a different viewpoint on what respect is and the foundation of respect. What I do on the podcast is supplemental to the blog, because if this is the masterclass, the blog, the podcast is the spark notes. What I encourage people to do is to read the blog, because it's going to give you a different perspective, a deeper perspective on what foundation and respect is, and all correlating to mindset. When we are looking at our world today, we are so quick to judge. We are so quick to ridicule. We're so quick to deject someone that we don't necessarily look at respect as a necessity anymore. Now, respect was typically a big thing before, and it's big in our cultures, it's big in our local communities. But everyone now is in a little clique. Everyone's in their little bubble. And I remember I lived in Connecticut for 28 years. And whenever I tell people I moved from Connecticut to Texas, they always say, well, why'd you move from Connecticut to Texas? And I say, it's the people. The people made me move. Not that Connecticut people are bad. Texas people are just so much more friendly. Respect was always a given, where they treat you just how they want to be treated, very kindly. And I remember when I first got here, it was strange to me when I was dealing with people coming up to me, sitting at my table, wanting to talk to me, hanging out. I'm thinking in my head, like, what is their ulterior motive? They didn't have one. They just were friendly. They had respect for me from the get-go. There was no malicious intent. There was no ridicule. There was no unwillingness to have me in a group discussion. Yet in Connecticut, people were in their little bubble. If you went to Starbucks, for example, you better not talk to someone who's talking to someone in a group and join their conversation. You might not get yelled at, but it's one of those things that are frowned upon. It's like the culture up there. I mean, I've talked to people in groups, but it was a quick thing. It was a quick thing, not me joining in. Here in Texas, you can literally start a whole conversation and then that evening join their dinner at their house. So it is a total different beast down here. But respect is different wherever you go. And the foundation of respect is going to be starting from when you were younger. So when we're young, we're told a certain set of beliefs, what to do, how to act. Now, maybe you're a young boy or girl. You are going to be having to say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, mom, yes, dad. And you're being obedient, right? You're being obedient, but that obedience is actually teaching you respect. Look in the eyes when you're speaking to someone or when someone's speaking to you. Yeah, in a different culture, like in Japanese and Chinese culture, you don't look at someone in the eye when you're being disciplined. So you look away, you look down because you're being disciplined. And it's considered rude to look someone in the eye in those cultures if you are being reprimanded for whatever you did. Yet here in America, it's considered rude, or in the West, if you don't look them in the eye. So depending on where your culture is, respect is going to be different. Now, I always tell people, ask yourself how you would like to be treated and then try to mimic that. Because if you can mimic what you would want, there's a high probability that when you're out in the world and you're doing exactly what you would like, and when you're giving exactly what you would want, you're actually getting the same thing in return. Sometimes people, they forget. They forget that they can respect people, that they can get into a good, strong mindset, and that they are responsible for their thoughts, their feelings, and their actions. Yet we look at the other person, we look at the other man, and we say, you know what? We can't respect you because things are different nowadays. And things that you believe in or the people that your friends or you associate with are not in accordance to what I want in my life, so I can't respect you. There's a wonderful saying from Tupac. Tupac was a hip hop artist, a rapper. He said that he wants to see his enemies eat also, but not at his table. So he respected them. He respected what they did, but he wasn't going to just allow them in his circle because he respected himself too. So his respect was, I want to see you do good, but you're just not going to eat with me. So, I give you my blessings. I want you to do good. I want you to be successful, but you do that over there and I'm going to do me over here. That's a level of respect. Versus today in our modern society, if you go on Twitter, oh, this person has a different belief. Oh, this person did this. Oh, I can't be a part of this person because this person said this and this person believes in that and they're this type of person. And I'm so glad they're gone. And people have lost their minds because respect is no longer the foundation of society. It's what's common. So if I can have a common life with someone who has the same beliefs, same system as me, that's going to be better for me. Versus if someone else is just going through life and they're having their best life and I don't agree with everything, so I just say, I can't respect this person. Deep down, we all can respect the person, even if they're a little bit different. They might not be our cup of tea, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be our cup of tea. They're their cup of tea. They're their own unique person. They don't have to be anything else but themselves. And just because you don't agree with everything they do, maybe you move back. Maybe you can disassociate with them, but not in the sense of you hate them, that you ridicule them, that you put yourself in a negative mindset because of what they do. What they do might be negative. I understand. There's a lot of people who make poor choices. But at the same time, what would happen if you gave that person respect and they had that negative mindset? Eventually, you would permeate that negativity with positivity. There is a way to change the mindset of someone who's thinking in a very negative way. And just because it's a different way to you doesn't automatically make it negative. Negative has a different connotation. Negative is harmful to a person or a group of people. So if someone has a negative mindset, we can begin to form a positive mindset with them by gaining an understanding, by creating a relationship, being cordial with one another. And then you're going to start to see that the foundation of respect can be rebuilt. But in our modern world today, respect is one of those things that the foundation is cracked. Everything is toppling over. And we have to do something before it's too late. Because if you're running around in a world without respect, no one's going to help you. No one's going to hold the door for you. No one's going to do any act of kindness for you because everyone is so concerned about themselves. Yes, we're living in a modern world where everyone feels entitled to their thoughts, their feelings, and their actions and what they should be doing and what other people should be doing according to their way of thinking. Now, depending on your goal in life, respect should be the foundation for whatever you do. How can you get to the goal that you want in life and be respectful in that process? So you're not belittling people. You're not putting people down. You're doing everything you can in a positive manner, becoming successful, becoming abundant. And then if you have differences between someone, you don't have to hang out with them. But at the same time, you don't hate the person because hate is one of those negative emotions that serve no one and only hurt ourselves. This blog right here, The Foundation of Respect, has a lot of points that has many points that I didn't go over today in the podcast. But if you take some time to read it, you're going to understand how times have changed and how respect has changed, whether it be career, relationships, or just yourself. Asking yourself, do you respect yourself? Are you eating healthy? Are you treating yourself with love and care and affection? Are you not telling yourself lies? Because when you look in the mirror, we can either pretend things are okay or we can begin to heal. We can begin to make the process better. So respect is a multitude of things. And if you're having trouble with respect, this blog is going to be a great place to begin. It's going to open the conversation. And I encourage people, send me an email, a comment, and we can talk about respect. Maybe you have someone in your life that might not be respecting you, or you feel like you're being disrespectful to a certain group of people. Share it with me and we can talk about it. Because when we have problems, the best thing we can do is open up and talk about them. So let's begin that discussion so we can start to repair the cracks in our foundation and learn how to respect once again. My name is Michael Rearden. I'm a mindset coach. If you have any questions, you can email me, coachinginsession@gmail.com, and I will see everyone on the next episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone, take care.